Hello YouTube, this is part 2 of my story. And while I was talking about my cousin's girlfriend dressed me up as a girl. And we ended up going to her house and she gave me a bunch of different outfits and I just tried them all on. And I was just having fun. I was having fun. It was who I was. It was just my early way of expressing it. And they didn't know that, but I was just like really excited about it. And it was like the first time people were seeing me like dressed up as a girl, but I didn't care. I was having fun. So I'm gonna fast forward back in 2010. And like I said, it was near the end of the year. I was living with my mom again, and she ended up, well, not she ended up, but like I said, I was still trying my mom's makeup and whatnot. And then we're in 2011 now, and in 2011, I it was January. It was right after the beginning of the year. I used to always see like my friends who were girls calling each other girl names, like "Hey girl" and "Hey hun" and just stuff like that. And like my friends who were had a sister, they were calling like, "Hey sissy," "Hey sister," "Hey sis," stuff like that. So I was like, well, I want to try this. Like I always see girls doing it. I want to try this too. So I ended up. I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was a girl who I had. I dated her, but then we ended up breaking up and becoming friends. And I like threw an idea out to her, like, "Hey, why don't we try this out? It'll be a fun joke." When in reality, it was just me. It was like I was experimenting who I was and trying to just test my feet in the water for different things. And it was I used to say it was for a fun joke, for a good laugh for both of us. So it started, and then from there on out, it happened. I just a lot of girls. I just wouldn't be like, "Hey, it's gonna be a fun joke," blah blah blah, and it'll be for a good laugh, I promise. But in reality, it was just I felt so happy like that. I was comfortable talking like that. I was comfortable being talked to like that, being treated like a girl. And a lot of them ended up like coming to me for advice, like they would just one of their girlfriends. Some would give me names, some would just call me like the girl names. But regardless, I started feeling like, okay, I feel more comfortable. I'm feeling happy. I feel like I'm finally accomplishing something here. So this is 2011, and then it continued all of 2011 and into just the coming years. It just continued for a very long time. I'd say it maybe stopped whenever I was maybe 17. I still did it. It was still me trying to test the waters and whatnot. But I'm not gonna skip that part ahead again. So when we were 2011, it just kind of like kept escalating. I was still trying my mom's makeup and whatnot. And let me think. Yeah, like I said, I just had a lot of my girlfriends. They were calling me that. And then 2011, like I said, that just continued all year long. And then 2012 got around, and let me think. 2012, I said like, okay, this can be my year. I want it to be a real big year. I want to finally find a relationship because all my friends had always been in relationships. My good friend Anthony, he had always been in a relationship as long as I've known him since middle school. I mean, I've known him since my childhood, but like during our middle school years, he was in a relationship. My cousin Corey was always dating people. My friend Tyler, like my little group of friends, like every one of them always had a girlfriend, and I was kind of like I would date, but like it would never be anything serious, or it maybe last a month or two, and then it would be like, okay, that's it. I mean, there was one girl I was involved with through all middle school and my freshman year of high school. Her name was Ginger. She was the girl I say I'd probably I'd probably say she's my first puppy love, like the first girl who ever gave me butterflies and everything. So then like 2012 got around though, and I was like, okay, this can be my year. I'm going to be who I'm going to just find a relationship and whatnot. And that year I had dated one girl for about a month in January and whatnot. And while I was doing all this, I was still continuing just who I like having all my friends call me what they did, treat me like a girl and everything, blah blah blah. Except my guy friends, I did it with them obviously, but I mean they knew about it. They just didn't really. Every once in a while they'd bring it up or they'd make like a remark about it, and it would get to me. Like I'd be like, oh well, why do you have to bring it up? I'm not comfortable with that around you. Just let it go. And then in March of that year, in March of the previous year, I met this girl named Abby, and then we talked for it was like on and off for a year. Like we were just friends, but like we would just talk and flirt and whatnot. And then in March of 2013, no, March 2012, I was at anyways. March 2012, like we ended up starting to talk, and then we ended up dating for on and off for a few months before we really became serious. We dated, started dating sometime near the mid to end March. Then we dated on and off, broke up a few times, talked on and off. But then in June, whenever my birthday rolled around, my birthday was June 20th, and that's when we got together. Because we started talking, because she was good friends with my mom's. Well, they were on and off for a while, but now her current boyfriend's daughter, they were both named Abby, but she was best friends with her. And she started coming down a lot when they came down, and she was at my house a lot, and it brought up a lot of feelings that like we both still had, because like that was one of our off periods. So we ended up, on my birthday, we ended up dating, and I ended up losing my virginity to her. Um, and then that summer, I said, okay, I'm going to stop this. I stopped talking to a lot of girls because like I was like, okay, I need to try to break myself of this. I have a girlfriend. I have a serious relationship. I want to make this last me. But it was hard. It was because like I was like repressing who I was and repressing something I did to help me express who I was. So, like I said, I pushed that back and I didn't talk to hardly any girls that summer. And then in August, very beginning, it was August 7th. I remember like it was yesterday, because like I said, she was my first like true love. I knew that. Um, we ended up having a really bad fallout, and we ended up breaking up, and it devastated me. Like it was the first time I had always suffered through like dysphoria and always feeling like out of place and just not feeling like I fit in to the mold society like set me as like, okay, you're supposed to be, my birth name was Ryan. They was like, okay, you're supposed to be Ryan. You're supposed to fit in this mold of a boy. And it's just like I never felt like I fit that mold. So, but anyways, I'll get back to our breakup. We ended up breaking up, and it sent me into a really deep depression, a very deep depression. Like it really set off my dysphoria, and like I couldn't figure out like who I was. I was like, I feel so lost. And for a while, I started thinking like, well, maybe am I gay, or like what is this? Like I didn't know the feeling. And just for months, it set me into a very deep depression. From August to December, I was just in such a deep slump. I couldn't break myself of it. Like every time, like, or I would just be able to shake it off for a little while, but it never went away. But after about a month of that happening, like I was able to put everything to rest, and everything feel like okay. Like I'm this depression, I'm being able to put it back a little bit. Me and her and get back together for a little while, but it didn't last, obviously. So I ended up getting involved in something called Richard's Fry Farm, and it's been a big part of my life ever since. This is my fifth year of it, fifth season I should say, 2012, 13, 14, 15, and now 16. Um, I ended up getting involved in that. Like one of my friends did it, my friend Anthony, and then he said, "Hey, why don't all of you put in applications and whatnot?" So me and my little crew, it was me, my friend Anthony, my friend Travis, my friend Tyler, and my cousin Corey. All five of us put in applications, and we had to go like to interviews, and then they had you try out for some things and whatnot. So we all ended up getting the job for that, and it was exciting, and it was a fun time. It was something I was acting, I was having fun. It's a haunted attraction. If I didn't mention that, haunted attractions open in Smithfield, PA every year. So if you're ever around the area, check it out. It's definitely worth it. Trust me, or else I won't stuck around this long. But yeah, so I ended up getting involved in that, and that really helps ease my depression because I was having fun. I was scaring people. I was putting on a great show every night. I was having fun. And then after it was over, my depression started coming back a little bit. I was like, no, I'm not letting it affect me. But then, like after Fry Farm ended, a lot of things started to change. My little group, my circle of friends that I had, that was the five of us. It really started to drift apart. One of my friends, he like started just really not. He didn't really come over very much. He didn't come hang out with us as much. And like we were all growing up, we knew that, but like we didn't want to let our little circle break off. Cause like there was five of us. There was a few others, but like that was the five of us. We did Fry Farm together. We had fun. We just yeah. We didn't want it to break off, but we knew it was going to, and this was the beginning of it. Things would never be the same after this. But then over the course of the next month, like I said, my depression was in and everything. And then in December, my depression, it was like 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm going to leave this into the next video because I don't want this to extend much over 10 minutes. So, alrighty, I will see you in part 3. Bye.